Welcome Aries, it's August 2017, Dadhichi here, and as you can see, for those of you that have been tuning in month by month, we have a slightly different format this month, and it gives you the chance to look at the horoscope the way I see it when I'm trying to work through what's happening to you month by month. But this month in particular, the very important component to the reading, and I'm going to focus pretty much on this aspect, is the solar eclipse that's taking place on the 21st. Here it says the 22nd, which is not right. And the eclipses are very, very important in that they release a huge amount of energy, tremendous amount of energy, and depending on the locality in the horoscope, and we can see here this fifth house. This is the sign of Aries, so we count 5 around. We see here your ruling planet, the karmic point, the north node, the moon and the sun. So here we see this powerful impact on the fifth house of creativity, the fifth house relating to children, competitive sports, and really, as some astrologers are of the opinion, myself included, fifth house has to do with the spiritual mind, along with this ninth house, which is more to do with the ideals and the spiritual mentor. 12th house here, in your case Pisces, which has to do with retreat, meditation, enlightenment, that sort of thing. The fifth house is more to do with your spiritual initiation, spiritual discernment that you have. It is also the initiatory rite. So when we see this total solar eclipse, it is a total solar eclipse taking place in this very important part of your horoscope. And by the way, this fifth house relates to your future karma. So it's releasing tremendous energy and giving you, I guess, the opportunity to make the most of the power that is released under this. The fact that your ruling planet is involved is also a very significant additional point to take note of. So you're having the Mars combination with this eclipse indicates the very personal nature of the energy, and the fact that what's happening right now, what you're doing, and in particular what you do on the day of this eclipse, has a marked impact upon your destiny. The fifth house is the future karma, as opposed to this ninth house, which is your past karma. We see here the trine aspect taking place between the eclipse and, in fact, all of these planets here. We consider these to be what we call in orb, making this trine aspect to Saturn, ruler of your 10th house of career. So if this energy is used wisely, we can see here that spiritual benefits, particularly relating to your work, will be most notably felt. We also see that the eclipse is very much connected to Uranus. It's an exact degree between the Sun and Uranus, which is located in your Sun sign at the moment, in retrogression, along with Saturn, which is in retrogression. So the retrogression is a very powerful astronomical phenomena. To have this Uranus here as part of this eclipse is very significant. So what this does is it releases the energy, the power for you to achieve the spiritual goals that you've set for yourself. And mind you, not all of you there watching this will be thinking, spiritual, not spiritual, I'm just interested in what's happening. Let's look at this, let's extend the idea to more of a creative and emotional and also romantic aspect, because this fifth house has to do with your romance, love. And you know, true love has a lot to do with the creative impulse. So this eclipse is very much about releasing that energy, Having Mars here gives you the drive to push forward in those romantic pursuits, those creative pursuits, those spiritual pursuits, if that's exactly what it is you're looking for. And according to Hindu astrology, Mars has what we call a quincunx aspect, 150-degree aspect here, to this 12th house of spirituality. In fact, it has an aspect to Neptune, again the spiritual planet, in this 12th house of spirituality. For some of you, this may be an unsettling period, especially if it relates to your relationships, your romance. The fact that this 5th house is romance. The eclipse shuts out the light. It can disturb the electromagnetic currents that affect all of us. Our human bodies are simply batteries with an electromagnetic field around them. So naturally, the sun, the solar vibrations, are completely eclipsed, cut off with the movement of the moon in front of it, in between the Earth and the sun. So, this eclipse is particularly powerful. It's interesting to note that in your case, it falls below the horizon here, east-west. So what's happening is more underneath the surface of things, more emotional, more romantic, more creative. And therefore, some of the results that I'm predicting here may not be all that visible in the outer world for some of you. So there could be a whole lot of emotional stuff going on here for you under this eclipse. It's also interesting to note that on August 8th, there's a lunar eclipse that takes place in your 11th house, directly opposite this point. And not too close to this node, but in the 11th house of friendship, the 11th house of social connections, indicates that this area of your life will also be triggered very powerfully this month. You note that the eclipses don't only influence the area that they're located in. They will actually impact, especially the signs opposite themselves. So both of these eclipses are operating on this 11-5 axis. Romance, love, children, creativity, social activities, friendships particularly. In fact, this solar eclipse I think is going to impact upon this very powerfully, because we mentioned earlier the connection to Uranus, this triangular aspect. This works well. The trine is supposed to be a nice easy aspect, and Uranus is ruling your 11th house. So these are the main areas I see for you this month in terms of your transits. On the 21st, we see also this Mars creating a sextile aspect right here to Jupiter, one of your positive planets. These are all augmenting the positive aspects of the eclipse and what good can come out of that for you. Also, Jupiter being in the 7th house, which is your marital and partnership house, is significant. So notwithstanding the power that is released through this, don't forget too, the trine aspect to Saturn, and some of the confrontational issues that may come up, the outcome for you is most positive. Do take a look at the introduction I've done for the eclipse, particularly the impact on the US. And for those of you that are from the US, please do take a look at that. This is a very significant eclipse. So we must look at this not just in terms of our own individual selves, but in terms of the way this impacts us as a group, as a nation, and also as a race, because whatever happens to you guys there in the US is going to have a marked impact upon us all globally. And this eclipse is a very, very big turning point for everyone. Don't forget to join me at astrology.com.au. There's more information on what's happening this month, August 2017. Look forward to your company next month again. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.